Good day everyone! Welcome to this 24th episode about my game, where I would like to show you a more detailed video about factories. Of course, I already talked about some of these in previous videos, but since then a lot happened, and I also handled the factories' financial side different in this game than in the original Transport Tycoon game. So now we have 10 different factories in the game so far, and the term factory is not 100% correct because some of these are not factories but plants or something else. But I just call these a factory in the arrays. So what are these and what type of information do I store and use to make this work? Of course there is a factory name. Some factories generate elements, items, some of them even multiple different ones. Some factories need and accept input elements, and some of them can accept multiple different ones. Factories can have a daily production rate, which means a minimum production. The actual production is always slightly higher than this value. Factories can have a maximum storage capacity as well. And of course they have the current production, the current number of ready items. And pretty much that's it, but in the code of course I store some other information as well, like these. But let's see the examples and let's see the whole factory flowchart. Let's start with the forest, which generates wood, and we have a daily minimum and maximum capacity as well. We can deliver wood from the forest to the sawmill, which accepts wood and generates wood blocks. From the sawmill we can deliver these wood blocks to the furniture factory, which makes furniture out of these. And we can deliver these furnitures to the mall. Good question maybe you already have: why doesn't the sawmill and the furniture store have a daily minimum and maximum capacity value? This is because some factories only produce when there is an input. So let's see an example. If we deliver 100 wood elements from the forest to the sawmill, having a 80% rule implemented, the sawmill will produce 80 wood blocks. If we deliver these 80 wood blocks to the furniture store, again using this 80% rule, the furniture store will produce 64 furnitures. All these happen the same day as the input elements arrive. And finally we can deliver these 64 furnitures to the mall. So as for now, these factories don't have a maximum storage capacity, but maybe I will code this to the game in the future, which will make the game a little bit harder and also more complex. Maybe too complex, so that's why I left it out so far. And of course we can have another factory accepting the same input, for example the thermal power plant, where we can also deliver wood. But we can also have multiple elements as an input, so we can deliver, for example, coal also to this thermal power plant. But we can also have a factory or industry which generates multiple outputs, for example the cow farm, which will generate milk and meat also. Of course, here we have different daily amounts and different maximum capacities as well. And so we can deliver these elements to different factories, for example milk to the milk plant and meat to the slaughterhouse. And of course we can deliver the finished dairy products and the butcher's meat to the mall also. Of course, having a pig farm which will generate meat, we can deliver these to the slaughterhouse as well. As for now, we have these 10 factories in the game, which is a relatively great start I think, and I plan to improve the number of these, not just by multiplying them but also creating new ones and also up-to-date ones, for example by creating a electric car battery factory. Important, we do not own these factories, we only transport the elements from one factory to another. and we get paid for each delivery. And how do we get paid? Well, this depends on the straight line distance between the factories and the number of elements we carry. So it's worth building the shortest and therefore maybe cheapest possible road between them. I also implemented a maximum distance threshold. If the straight line distance between two factories exceeds this limit, the payment will no longer increase. It stays the same regardless of any additional distance. This is important because we have the fuel consumption of each vehicle and also the driver's salary. So sometimes it is worth to check the distances between the factories, whether it is a great choice to make a connection between these. But this is part of a playing strategy, so yes, if we have a forest relatively close to a sawmill, maybe one larger truck is enough, but if the furniture factory is 3 or 4 times as far, maybe we need multiple trucks. But this is the player's decision. So this was today's video, and I have plans for new updates, and I hope I can show you these new videos in the future. So if you don't want to miss, please subscribe and leave a comment if you like what I do. Bye bye!